Welcome back. My name is Frankie, and this is Frankie Talks Too Much, where we talk about overthinking, everything that's on my brain, what's going on in my life, pop culture, all the things that I watched this week. And I want to add a new segment in today about money and just money is just something that I know not a ton about, but just enough about to help other people. So I'm going to add a segment in about money. But before I do that, I really want to talk about our trip because if you've been following along, we went on a 2-week trip right after a 1-week trip to Hawaii. It has been exhausting. We got back yesterday. That's why this episode's coming out on a Tuesday instead of a Monday, which is my usual podcast day. Everything's going to go back to normal once my kids go back to school in 2 weeks. I'm so excited for my kids to go back to school. I'm a little nervous. There's a lot going on. I have a lot of prep to do, but we'll talk about that on my to-do list. Anyway, here's what I did this week. Number one, I failed at posting on TikTok. Remember a couple of weeks ago when I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to post on TikTok twice a day for a whole month? No, I failed so bad. And I tried to be really good about it on my trip because this trip was so interesting. I feel like not a lot of people go on 2-week road trips. Not a lot of people bring their kids. Not a lot of people go to the same locations that we go to. I mean, they do. A lot of people go to Las Vegas. A lot of people go to Orange County. But I just need to be posting more on social media. I wasn't having a lot of success on TikTok, so a part of me is maybe I should post on Reels more. I know that people are a lot more brutal on Reels, the comments are more brutal. I had one video take off, and I talked about it, when Dante came on, and I asked him, would you rather have $1,000 for every mile you run under 10 minutes or $500,000 up front? Or actually, I think the original question was $50,000 up front. Anyway, that video took off in the running community, and there is nobody more harsh or more strict than people within the running community or running social media, anything like that. So of course it took off, and there were people arguing in my comments about running with their partners and making a ton of money, yada yada yada. It was a hypothetical question. And the runners were just arguing about what they would do and how much money they would make if this were a true thing. Anyway, I still think I might have more success on Reels just according to the content that I do post. I don't know. Maybe I'm going to start again here when school starts, or maybe even tomorrow to try and post twice a day. So that way I can try and build more of a following. Anyway, it's just been kind of hard with me with social media. When I'm on vacation, I'm just not on my phone that much. I did bring my little brick block so that way I could unbrick and get on social media, but I just didn't have a desire to be on social media. Number one, I downloaded a ton of games. So I was playing lots of games on my phone. So don't assume that I was doing anything productive or anything intellectual with my time. But when the night came and I knew it was time for me to post on my stories, update, try and get people to follow along on our trip, it was just really difficult for me. I was really lazy. I was really tired. And I think, and I'm going to sound like a complainer because I am kind of complaining, but I kind of got the feeling that I was posting to the void. Even when I made last week's podcast episode, I felt like I was making a podcast speaking into the void, which is okay. I think speaking into the void is okay. I am creating something for the practice of creating something rather than for views and attention. I don't need to make money on social media, so getting a lot of views is not my goal. My goal is to step out of my comfort zone, and I guess speaking to the void is my comfort zone. I don't know. Anyway, I think the tough part about podcasting and trying to be on social media when you get low views is that it almost feels pointless. What am I doing this for? And it feels a little sad sometimes, just getting vulnerable about it. But I think I'm also feeling this way because number one, I'm sleep deprived. I have my Aura ring says that I am 8 hours and 50 minutes into sleep, like sleep debt. Like I owe myself almost 9 hours of sleep. So yes, posting has been tough. I like get embarrassed about the fact that like if somebody were to open up my Instagram and look at my views, or open up my TikTok and look at like how many views I'm getting, that they're going to be like, she still posts when she only gets 200 views or 600 views on some of my reels. And yeah, anyway, I'm going to keep making the podcast. I told myself I would do it till January 1st, I told myself I would do it for 6 months, whether people are listening or not. My goal is 100 people listening weekly. My goal is 100 people listening weekly come January 1st. We'll see. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to stay consistent, and I'm going to try and be consistent on social media. Anyway, my trip was fun. It's been kind of funny trying to explain to people like what kind of a trip we did. Like I said, it's not a trip that people usually take, and there came a point where I was like, what is the point of this trip? Like, why are we going on this road trip? Why do we plan something like this? I feel like not a lot of people in our community vacations or travels for fun. Like, they don't go somewhere for fun. And so trying to explain to people that we went on this trip for fun, but also because we had to go, like we just mixed in fun things like with the obligation to go to Vegas, is kind of like a weird experience. Like, yes, we had to be in Vegas, but no, we didn't have to go to Utah. Anyway, last week, I'm sorry, I did not post it on Spotify. I recorded it on my iPad, and I guess when I recorded it on my iPad, the sound did not turn into MP3, and your podcast has to be an MP3 for Spotify to post it. Anyway, last week I talked about the first week of our trip, where we made it to Salt Lake, we went to St. George, we made it to Vegas, spent time with family. So here's the rest of the trip, the second week of our trip. In Vegas, I got heat rash. Like, must have been between Sunday and Monday. I don't know if it's heat rash. I've been Googling to figure it out, but the one common denominator is I get these like bumps on like my hands, my elbows, and my knees. They're really like painful and a little itchy. And I've been getting them. They're almost like hands, foot, and mouth. Like, I got hands, foot, and mouth when I was 16 years old. It was so incredibly uncomfortable. Like, I couldn't walk, I couldn't touch, I couldn't eat anything. I was so sick. But anyway, I've gotten these rashes that manifest like hands, foot, and mouth ever since then. So on my mission, like, I remember like my hands were in so much pain, so uncomfortable. I went to tell like the mission president's wife. That's what you're supposed to do when you're an LDS missionary, like, and you're sick. You're supposed to go to the nurse, but we didn't have a mission nurse. Anyway, she would like brush me off. She was like, it's whatever, like, just put lotion on it. And it could be that my hands were just really dry. But anyway, I think it's heat rash because I just was so uncomfortable. Anyway, I got it when I was in Las Vegas. It was so stinking hot. But the second we went to California, my skin started to heal. Like, the bumps started to go away. They started to get less itchy. And then when we got back to Vegas on Thursday night, it came back. Like, I think my body is allergic to the heat. It doesn't want me to be in hot and dry places at all. So uncomfortable. I am going to try and take more precautions next time. Oh, you know what also helped my heat rash was taking an allergy pill. Like, taking an allergy pill, like, made the swelling go down, so it was more comfortable. Like, I would usually wear, like, when I wear my whole hands of rings, because I love having, like, ring stacks, when I would put it on my right pointer finger, that ring would be so uncomfortable. Like, not tight, but just, like, rubbing against the rash, so it was not fun. Anyway, heat rash. I must be allergic to Vegas. So we went to California on Tuesday. We were trying to decide if we were going to go to Universal or Legoland. We decided Legoland because I feel like Legoland has more like kid-friendly activities. They have a water park, and for 4 tickets for 2 days, it ended up being about $100 less than Universal. So we decided on Legoland. So fun. I love Legoland. It was so packed, I will say. We went the week before school started for a big chunk of that southwest area of the country. But Legoland is so fun. It is so good for kids. That water park is the best kids water park. Like if you have kids who are not like 10 and older who can do tons of like fun slides, Legoland is the best. They have so many splash pads, so many kiddie pools where like it gets to like maybe 1.5 feet the highest. That way your kids can go and enjoy. They have so many life vests. Like I didn't have to bring my own life vest in. But Legoland itself was so fun. Like even though we had to wait in some lines, so worth it. I feel like again, the rides there are catering to the younger kids. I want to be able to just enjoy it while my kids are young. And I mean, it's not better than Disney, I will say, because I love Disney. Disney is great because it caters to adults and little kids, but Legoland is really just for little kids, but it is fun if you're a parent. And like Legoland California had a lot of like air conditioned areas for the kids to legit just sit there and play Legos. Now, speaking of Legos, Legos carry lots of germs, and there's kids all up in the Legos, and you touch things, and no matter how much hand sanitizer you put on, no matter how much you avoid touching your face, you still get sick at Legoland. That's the only thing. And I did get sick. I remember on our drive home Thursday night, or back to Vegas on Thursday night, my throat started to hurt. And that was a big like, oh crap, I know I'm about to get sick because my throat is tingly. My nose started to get stuffy. And so from then until now, so last Thursday until today, Tuesday, I have been taking so many cold meds because, yes, I got sick at Legoland. That sounds about right for me. Anyway, we did not bring a stroller to Legoland, which is new for us. Like, we have been going without a stroller for so long. We did do Disneyland and we did bring a stroller, but I'm tempted to see like what it would look like if we stopped bringing strollers. I don't know. Maybe when we go to Disney World, we still probably will bring a stroller. I don't know. It has been so fun. Like, it's so nice that Dante and I both carry backpacks. He carried a backpack with all of our swimming stuff because we knew we didn't want to go all the way back to the car to get ready to swim. And I carried a backpack full of snacks. And we made it through the day. Like, I feel like I've reached a new level of parenthood where I don't have to bring a stroller. And it's so much fun. And we told the kids, like, we can't get toys to the very end because we can't carry them all around all day. So then by the end of the day, like, we almost got away with not buying them any toys on the first day. But, like, you just avoid buying more stuff than you can carry because you're carrying everything in your arms. Anyway, I know I'm living in a different reality than everyone else in my, like, family that has kids because I can go without a stroller places. We went on our cruise without a stroller. We go to the zoo regularly without a stroller. My kids can walk about 2 miles before they start getting tired because we did Bryce Canyon without a stroller. And yes, like, I'm living in an amazing time of parenthood. No stroller. My kids are so fun. They're still young and cute and huggable, but also, like, we can have fun. Like, we can go and do fun things. Now, I did have to threaten them a couple times and say, like, this is supposed to be fun. Let's have fun is usually the conversation when they start to argue with me or when they start to not want to do anything or when the energy starts to get low. But I mean, California was such a good time. We did do Catalina Island between our 2 Legoland days just because that's how our schedule worked out the best. And Catalina Island was okay. Like, I think Catalina Island caters obviously to the cruise ports and like California locals who go there often, I assume. But like, it was just, everything there was so stinking expensive. We did do a fun excursion. I mean, okay, I think Catalina Island can be fun if you're not on like a somewhat tight budget. But we did do an excursion where we got to see a ton of fish, which was fun. I really wanted to see one California sea lion, and we did, thank goodness. But I mean, the food was kind of expensive. The beach is tiny. And you know what's funny is I logged into Instagram like 2 days later or a couple days later, and Ken Craddock, she's a Instagram influencer, or no, TikTok, anyway, social media influencer. She had posted that she went on a bachelorette trip on Catalina Island, and it looked like so much fun. And I was like, maybe Catalina Island can be fun if you're not on a budget or if you're not lugging around two young kids. But yeah, Catalina Island, I don't think I'd go back. Honestly, like, that's being completely honest. Like, I feel like I could have had just as much fun just like in San Diego or Newport Beach. So yes, Catalina Island next time might be a skip. Honestly, I think any cruise out of California, because, okay, I do love cruising. Any cruise out of California might be a skip for me. It is so cold. Like, we were wearing sweaters in California and then getting ready to go back to the hot Vegas. It's just interesting. Oh, I remember. There's another thing about Legoland that I wanted to share. So the pool that we were sitting next to, like, I guess some kid had pooped in it. Thankfully, we weren't in it, but I was sitting like a couple chairs away, and like the lifeguards like blew the whistle multiple times and was like, everyone get up, and people were like not moving. And so when people finally left, there were these people sitting next to me, and they're like, I wonder if somebody pooped in the pool, like, darn, too bad it's closed. And the dad said, like, oh, it's probably diluted enough to get in. And that was so nasty. Like, okay, I understand. Like, there is like a level of everything in the world is dirty. Everything probably has feces, E. coli on it. I do understand that. But the idea of being okay with swimming in a pool that might have poop in it, even though it's diluted, that is disgusting. Like, I cannot. Like, just the thought of it. Anyway. Also, I have one more gripe. I mean, I complain a lot. I have one more gripe about water parks is, why do people have to save more than 2 chairs? Like, when we walked in, it is our fault. We didn't go to the water park until like 1 p.m. You walk in, and there is not a single chair open. But there's a lot of chairs open, actually. There's not a single chair open to put your stuff at, but there's a ton of chairs with towels on them. Like, why do people need to save so many chairs that maybe get sat in for maybe 5 minutes? Like, I get it if you're like, oh, my family's going to want to come back to eat. There's picnic tables to sit at and eat. If everybody only took 2 chairs or to reserve themselves 2 chairs, then we wouldn't have an issue. Like, everyone would get a chair. But for some reason, people were saving 6, 7 chairs. Honestly, okay, if I wasn't cheap, it probably would have been better for us to have just gotten a locker. We could have put all of our stuff in lockers and been on our way. But our bags were just a little too big than the locker, so I didn't want to pay for them. I just wanted to put them in a chair. Also, if I would have brought a stroller, I know I just talked about how great it is to not have a stroller when you're traveling. If we would have brought a stroller, we would have had a place to put all our stuff, but we didn't. Anyway, I wish people didn't save so many chairs that maybe get used for 5 to 10 minutes. It's kind of annoying. But anyway, I'm just so judgy. I am just such a complainer. I remember there was this time back in 2024 where I was like constantly complaining, constantly judging people, like just being miserable, just a miserable person to be around. Like, I was constantly judging people about like their houses they were buying, whether or not they could actually afford it, like whether or not like it was like worth the money that they are paying for, because here in Jackson County you can see how much they financed on their house. I know, that's so nosy of me to even know that, but I was so judgy in 2024, and I like I remember sitting there and thinking about what is the root cause of me judging? Like, why am I so judgmental over what people do? And there came a point where I was like, I am doing this because I'm jealous. Like, the judgment to jealousy pipeline is very, very strong. I used to judge people like for not wearing, like, okay, this is LDS TMI, so if you're not Mormon and you don't understand, I'm sorry, but Mormons wear like garments, right? I remember judging people about like not wearing their garments, and then one day it clicked for me. Like, I'm just jealous that they're not wearing their garments. I'm just jealous that I'm not buying a new house because I want a new house. And so a part of me, I remember back in 2024 thinking in my head, like, how about I stop judging? How about I stop being jealous and I just go do it myself? Like, how about I stop being jealous about what other people wear and I just wear it myself? I stop judging people and being jealous over their new houses and just buy a new house myself. And that's just so funny, like, how that pipeline works. And now every time I feel like a sense of like judgment towards others, I need to go back and reflect about it. I mean, there are some things I can righteously judge on. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to add that. This is Frankie Talks Too Much. But I still don't want to get myself in trouble for what I say. Okay, I'll say it. There is this couple that I know, and they are just, I don't want to say not good parents, but they are not very good parents. And we were talking about traveling, and then they were saying like that their child screamed and cried and how angry they were about the baby. The baby itself is younger than 12 months. Like, he's a little baby, and he was crying when he was traveling, which is normal for a baby. And I was so judging them for getting angry at a baby that they wanted, a baby that they tried really hard for, that they spent a lot of money to have. So yes, that's a righteous judgment. Like, they are not very kind parents for just constantly being angry at their children that they paid a lot of money for, if you know what I mean. Anyway, this is Frankie Talks Too Much, so I'm saying things that would probably get me in trouble if more people were listening. Anyway, okay, I have one more rant, actually. And this is stemming from being in Vegas with, like, my husband's side of the family. Oh, this is Frankie Talks Too Much. I talk too much and I say things that I probably shouldn't. But I'm so tired of putting more effort into, like, being there for people than they are for me. Like, for example, Dante and I, we put a lot of effort into going to his Las Vegas family's, like, events and things like that. But, like, I never, like, feel that super reciprocated. For example, like, even our wedding day, we had our wedding here. Everyone had, like, a really big notice. And the only people that came from his family were legit his parents and, like, one brother. And that's it. Like, it was really sad. And then fast forward, we had kids. And, like, my kids have, like, in Mormon culture, they have blessings. In Samoan culture, we have a big first birthday. And, like, yeah, they came out for the blessings. They never came out for first birthdays. And Dante and I put in so much effort to be at all the weddings, be at all the blessings, be at all the first birthdays. And so it's been a little disheartening, to say the least, about, like, putting effort into people and, like, already planning to be at 2 more first birthdays, and just kind of knowing that, like, my kids are going to be turning 8 in the next couple of years, and there's a pretty good chance that nobody in our Las Vegas family comes. I'm not going to try and not cry. But yes, I was feeling that really strong back. Oh, my dryer just went off. I was feeling that really strongly, like, when we were in Las Vegas, that I was like, why am I putting effort into these people? Because they don't put effort back into us. But anyway, there's my rant. Just wanted to say it. But if you know my husband, you know he is very just loving. He goes out of his way to serve people. I mean, like, legit, we get to Vegas and everyone has like a long list of to-do lists for my husband to help them with. My husband's very handy. He's just very talented at everything he does. It's really annoying, actually, that he's really good at what he does. But anyway, just like having, like, we get there for vacation and they're asking him to like do all of these different chores and fixing things in their houses, like, kind of made me mad, low key. Anyway, done ranting. Hopefully, we'll see. I still have a lot more to say on this podcast. Anyway, we went back to Vegas like on Thursday night and we had some good family time. Saturday was kind of a stressful day because we had baptism, Dante going to fix things for his family, the birthday party, and then we stayed up so late talking to my in-laws, which I love. I love chit-chatting with them. It was, probably not a good idea because we had to wake up early that next morning and we drove right to the Grand Canyon on Sunday morning. We unfortunately didn't get to the Grand Canyon till noon because we had this like kind of hope that we would have enough energy and time to like at least get to this town called Liberal, Kansas. It's like right on the inside of Kansas because we drove basically like the Route 66 route and then but we like split off. We didn't go to Amarillo. We went through like a bunch of little towns. Anyway, I guess it's faster according to Google Maps. And we didn't have the energy because we got to the Grand Canyon at noon. So we didn't get to like right at the border of Texas and New Mexico until legit like midnight. So I got a hotel. I became a Marriott like account user. Like, I'm gonna try and rack up a ton of points because we were staying at Marriott's, like just like the Fairfield ones, like nothing fancy, somewhat cheap, but like actually pretty good quality hotels. Anyway, yeah, we stayed in a little town. I think it was like called Tucumcari, New Mexico. And then we drove straight from there back home. We got here in Kansas City at like 6 p.m. And we went straight to my grandparents' house, then straight to dance practice for Sommel and Flag Day. And then we went straight to Dick's Sporting Goods right before they closed because we had a 20% off coupon. And we needed to get Levi all of his soccer stuff because he has soccer practice today, Tuesday night. It's been a rush. I have so much to do. Like right after I'm done podcasting this, I need to go to the grocery store. Anyway, Dante also turned 33 on Friday, which I feel bad. Like, it's great because he got to spend his birthday with his family, but also it was kind of sad because he had to work the whole day and he was putting out fires at work. But anyway, it's great to have birthdays. I love August birthdays. My birthday is on Saturday. I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm turning 30. It's crazy. I'm obsessed with giving my kids new experiences. I think it is our job as parents to use the school breaks that we get to teach our kids something that they cannot learn inside of the classroom. We need to take our kids out. Like, we need to go and travel with them. We need to show them new things, give them new experiences. One of the best parts about being a parent is being able to show my kids the world. Now, have they been all over the world? No. But to show them new experiences. My kids have been to so many places because one of my priorities is showing my kids the world, to teach them new things, make them meet new people. And I know that has required us to step out of our comfort zone, but stepping out of our comfort zone has caused us to realize what we really enjoy and what we might not like. I think we need to travel more with our kids. And of course, I think couples should have just couples trips, but your kids should get out and see the world. We took our kids to Catalina Island this last week. We took them on a road trip. And if you know Dante and I, we are not road trip people, but it was amazing. It was such a good experience. We took our kids on a cruise last year. We loved cruising with them. Like I said, it is our job to, as parents, to step out of our comfort zone and to show our kids the world, show our kids what they can't just learn in a classroom. Our school breaks are there for us to not just have a break, but for us as parents to do what we're meant to do as parents. One of my favorite parts about being a parent is being able to take my kids places and show them new things and to teach them new things. I love being a mom because I love getting to spend such good quality time with my kids. Okay, I also want to say I am obsessed with going on vacation during the busiest months of the year. I say you should go on vacation in August. I say you should go on vacation in December because something about being taken out of the craziness of the week of that part of the year, like I know you're going to miss like the Christmas concert. You might miss like some back to school activities, but it is so nice to not be at home dealing with the craziness and getting to really just step away from it all. I love going on vacation in August and December. I'm obsessed with it. Like, I'm trying to think right now, how can I get out of town in December, even though we spent a lot of money on these last 2 trips? How can I get out of town in December and stay away from the craziness that is the holiday season? I mean, like, it is stressful being away during those times. Like, I remember for our cruise, we like missed some Christmas parties and things like that. And that was kind of stressful. And it's been stressful, like, planning to like relearn all the dances for Flag Day that's coming up. But it's so good to get away from the stressors of life. Anyway, another great part about vacation is that my screen time is so low. I talked about this earlier, but something about being on vacation, your screen time is low. And I saw this Substack article that said, let me quote it. It said, your screen time is low when your life is interesting, so make life interesting. Your screen time is low when your life is interesting, so make your life interesting. When we have things to do, when we are out and about doing something new, our screen time is low. I saw in that same article, they were talking about how like we don't need different devices. Even though I have a brick, we don't need like another regimen to keep us off our phone. We just need an interesting life. We need to spend time with friends. We need to go out. We need to go do things. Talking about going and doing things, I'm obsessed with PowerLife. As you know, I talk about it all the time. I just hit my 500th class, which is so exciting. I cannot believe I've hit 500 classes. I am obsessed with PowerLife. I'm obsessed with being strong. Today was my first class back though, and it was tough. I was actually physically struggling. I might have picked up too heavy of a weight, so when my triceps are sore tomorrow, I know what caused it. Okay, last thing I'm obsessed with is talking about money. Now, I know that talking about money is kind of taboo, but I will be the one to talk about it and give you the real life numbers. And so, like I said at the beginning, I'm adding a money/budgeting tip section of the podcast. And my money/budgeting tip of the week is that you need to start saving for Christmas right now. Even if you're feeling broke from buying school supplies and stuff like that, you need to save for Christmas. I just put in another chunk of money into our savings or into our Christmas account because I like to relax in December. My Christmas fund is currently sitting at $2,000. Do I spend $2,000 on Christmas gifts? Heck no. That is way too much money. But something about December brings a charge here, a charge there. We have a Christmas party. We need these Christmas snacks. We need this, this, and this. And it's nice in December to be able to sit back and think, oh my gosh, I have a savings account to pay for the craziness that is this month. And like everything extra, I mean, I'm going to keep saving, but whatever we don't spend out of that $2,000 as of right now, it goes onto like the principal of our mortgage. It goes to maybe a vacation fund. I think that you need to start a Christmas fund now, even if you don't have kids, even if it's just you, because December is an expensive month. I also need an August envelope. Okay, I use Ally Banking, so you can have like buckets so it works like the envelope system that our parents used to use. But I think that you need to save up for the craziest month of the year, December. And I think I'm going to take my own advice, but also save up for August for next year, because August is a crazy, crazy month. Moving on to pop culture. I didn't watch anything this week. We were just so busy. There is not much to talk about, but I did go and see Spider-Man: A Brand New Day. Spider-Man is such a special movie, or a special part of the Marvel franchise for me. The Spider-Man No Way Home that came out in December 2021 was Carla's very first movie she saw. We took her when she was 2 weeks old. She slept through the whole thing. It's so special. I love Spider-Man. Honestly, every Spider-Man movie, every Marvel movie for me is a 10 out of 10. No notes. I just love a Marvel movie. It's always heartwarming. You're always left wanting more at the end. I just love Spider-Man. Okay, spoilers ahead if you haven't seen the new Spider-Man movie, but I loved Sadie Sink in Spider-Man. I also loved her in Stranger Things, obviously, but to see her in Spider-Man, I'm not going to say who she is, was so awesome. She is such a good actress. I mean, they don't give Oscars to Marvel movies ever. Well, maybe they did for Black Panther, I think. But anyway, I think she should get an Oscar. She is so stinking talented. I want to see her in way more. I hope we see her in Doomsday. We'll see. I bet we will, actually. I can't wait to see Doomsday. I love Zendaya. I will always love Zendaya. It's not an unpopular opinion to say Zendaya is my favorite actress, but she is. She is very good. I mean, this isn't her shining moment, but I love Zendaya. I will watch anything Zendaya's in, except for Dune. I haven't seen Dune. I want to watch it. And I also haven't seen The Odyssey. I actually just booked to go on Friday, but I still need to talk to Dante about it to see if he can watch the kids for a 3-hour movie. Anyway, the plot of Spider-Man was riveting, but the twist was pretty obvious. We saw that from a mile away of who the bad guy was. And I'm just dying to know if MJ and Peter will ever get together. Like I said, Marvel always leaves you wanting a little more. It makes you excited for the next movie. They never make you feel full, if that makes sense. Okay, last thing. I can hear my family about to come in. My to-do list. I need to, number one, get back into a routine. Like I said, I went to go work out today, my 500th class at PowerLife, but I also am going to make dinner. I'm going to do the things that I'm going to need to have done for the new school year. Dante needs to mow the lawn because the grass is very long, and he needs to change the oil, which is what he's outside doing right now with the kids. I need to buy more groceries, so that's what I'm going to do right after this. I also need to buy new toothbrushes. Our toothbrushes are so old. It is bad and probably nasty. I also need to buy school supplies. That is coming up quick. I don't know if I have to do that today. That might be a tomorrow thing. I'm thinking about getting a Skylight calendar to really plan our days, because with dance, gymnastics, soccer, dance practice, there's so much going on that I'm so stressed about. And I have a long to-do list. Unfortunately, I have unimportant things on my to-do list, like doing my own nails or going to get my eyebrows done and fixing my peach fuzz mustache. Anyway, my to-do list is so long. I'll update you on how much I actually get done by next Monday. I will record on Monday next week. Maybe I'll record Sunday night so that way it comes out on time. But anyway, thank you for listening. This was a really, really fun episode to record. And I talked too much. So if you listened, you got a treat of what I have to say. Anyway, love you. Thank you for listening. I'll talk to you next week. Bye.